Hey there, it's Kat and this is Brews and Reviews. So today I'm going to be doing the Fave Festive Family Films book tag, and that was created by Kayla from Crack Into a Good Book. So I'm really excited to do this tag. It's about festive films and, you know, 'tis the season. I don't know if you can see my jumper. It's a Christmas pudding. Also got my Stranger Things mug, the only vaguely Christmas themed mug that I have. There are Christmas lights on it, it counts. So as per usual, I'm going to read the questions out from my phone because my memory is... it's not good. It's not good. So let's get to the questions. Elf, the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. What's a book that makes you smile? So for this one I'm going to go with one that I actually just finished reading earlier on in this month. And that is Red, White and Royal Blue by Casey McQuiston. I actually read this one as a buddy read with Emily from Novels and Ange from Ange with an E. And I don't know what it is about this book. I think it's to do with the banter. I just really like the enemies to lovers banter. I don't tend to read as many enemy to lovers things, especially not contemporary ones. So when I have read this, it's kind of like a new thing to me, and I just had a lot of fun with it and it made me smile. And then there was the cute bits that also made me smile, and then just the things that happened towards the end, and that was just happy tears and all that sort of thing. So yeah, I'm gonna go with Red, White and Royal Blue because it just made me smile, it made me happy. And for me, now it is like a Christmassy book because I read it in December, the month of Christmas. Which I'm sure you all knew that. Oh dear. The Muppet Christmas Carol, a blue furry Charles Dickens who hangs out with a rat. Charles Dickens was a 19th century novelist. What's one of your favourite adaptations or retellings of a story? So I thought about this one a lot, and I thought, well, I could do with like a modern retelling of like King Arthur or something like that. And I thought, well, source material varies and all that sort of thing. So that is, so that didn't quite work for me. And then I thought, oh, maybe like a fairy tale. And then I thought, no, because no matter how much that I might argue with myself that is not the case, the Lord of the Rings films will always be my favourite adaptations. Because personally, I enjoyed those more than I enjoyed reading the books. And that's mostly because I think the books were quite dry. Bear in mind that I read the Lord of the Rings books when I was 11. So 11-year-old me, which one is 11-year-old me going to become more attached to? The books, which are great, but like a bit slow, a bit dry, or the films, which were perfection. And I had a massive obsession with them. Not even gonna lie, Lord of the Rings, the films specifically, were my special interest for a very long time. I had a Lord of the Rings birthday party. I dressed up like Arwen, and my nan made me a costume, and I still have the Arwen cape, you know. Anyway, that was too much information for you guys, but I know it's not a perfect adaptation of the books, because there are a lot of things that they missed out, and they had to miss out, but I just have such a special place in my heart for them, and that will never change, so Lord of the Rings. The Grinch. You're a 3-decker sauerkraut and toadstool sandwich with arsenic sauce. Who is one of your favourite book villains? Anyone want to guess? Just before I hold this book up. Anyone? If you guess the Darkling, then you're right. It's the Darkling. There are loads of villains that I really like. I love villains. They're like my fave. I usually tend to like a villain more than the heroes in a lot of cases. I just really like the Darkling, and I know I shouldn't because I know he's a problematic person. I can't help it! I can't help it. It's just the thing. Also, honourable mention, it's the Goblin King from Labyrinth. I'm sorry, but maybe he was where my love for villains started coming into it. I don't know. I just love villains. Spongebob Christmas Special. This Christmas feels like the very first Christmas to me. What was one of the first books you read in one of your favourite genres? I mean, would it be one of my videos if I didn't mention Legend by David Gemmell? What? What? Okay, you'll know I was going to say this. I started getting into adult fantasy when I was quite young. I started by getting into Lord of the Rings when I was like middle grade-ish age. And then my dad was like, oh, you should read some of these books that I read when I was younger, and like my favourite author, you should read them because you'll really like them. And then I read David Gemmell when I was like 13. And obviously I have been hooked ever since. And one of my favourite genres is fantasy, and here we are. It's, you know, there's a reason it's my favourite book. It's great. It's such a good book. Anyway, you've heard me talk about this book many times. If you don't know what this book is about, it's vaguely like the Battle of Thermopylae, like from 300. The main cast of characters are in a fort and they're trying to defend it from a huge invading army, and yeah, it's just really cool. A Christmas Story, a major award. Name a book you love that has won an award. Wow, this one was really hard though, because I don't pay any attention to awards that books have won. Literally no attention. I was scanning my shelves and I was like, I don't fucking know. What award? I literally have no idea. So honestly, the one that I ended up going with wasn't a book that I loved. It was a book that I really enjoyed that I've read this year, and won an award. I think it won multiple awards. So we're going with that one, because otherwise I'd be like, I don't know the answer. What is the answer? I don't know. So here we are. I went with Room by Emma Donoghue. This book is told from a child's point of view, and it is about a woman who was kidnapped and locked in a room and ends up having a son to her kidnapper, and it's about their story as they are locked in this room. And I found it really interesting. I didn't hate the child perspective like I thought it was going to. There was points in this where I just didn't want to put it down because I was really fascinated in everything that was happening. And I enjoyed it. So yeah, this one won an award and I read it this year. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, Jelly of the Month Club. What's a book you were excited to read that turned out to be a disappointment? Hello, old faithful book. What is your name again? Ah yes, A Torch Against the Night by Saber Tahir. Now, I hate that I didn't like this one, and that is why it always sort of sits atop the list of disappointing books for me, because I just really didn't enjoy it. I really liked An Ember in the Ashes. I gave it 4 out of 5 stars, and that was only because I didn't really gel with Leia, who's one of the main characters. I found her perspective a little bit off, but anyway, I really liked the villains in the first book, and in this book, I just felt like they were mustache twirling, able to predict every single move the main characters were doing. The main characters started doing something that made no sense. I basically only ended up liking one character in this book, and I was so disappointed because I really liked the first one, and it had so much potential, but I just didn't enjoy it, so it's really disappointing. But I think that's just me. I think the general consensus of people is that this book is good, and I think I'm of the opinion that I did not enjoy it, so. Bad Santa, should I fix you some sandwiches? Name a character who's optimistic or wants to help others. I feel like this question was really hard because I tend to read a lot of books with nasty people in, but then I thought, how many cinnamon roll characters are there? And then I just remembered the absolute perfect cinnamon roll for this question, and it's Bitty from Czech Police by Ngozi Ukaza. This graphic novel is about a guy called Bitty who plays ice hockey and bakes, and he's just so damn cute, and he always wants to help people. He wants to cheer them up with pie and make everyone happy and help everyone. He's just so cute, and he's exactly the kind of guy that you'd want to be around, because I just feel like if you're having a bad day, he'd be like, no, never fear, let me make you 7 pies of different flavours so that you can have 1 bite of each pie and be like, yes, you feel better. I don't know, I just Bitty is a very caring character, and I feel like he would do anything to try and cheer you up. The Santa Claus. Seeing isn't believing, believing is seeing. What is something from a book that you wish were real? Okay, this is like the least specific answer ever, but just magic. Like, any type of magic. I would take any type of magic, actually, at this point in time. Like, it's got to be better than what 2020 is putting out there, right? Literally any type of magic. The Nightmare Before Christmas. There's frost on every window, oh I can't believe my eyes, and in my bones I feel the warmth that's coming from inside. Oh my god, you have no idea how hard it was for me not to sing that, but like, I did it for your ears. Believe me. Anyway, the question is, what's a book that's perfect to read in winter? So for this one I picked The Terror by Dan Simmons, and okay, so perfect to read is potentially the wrong word. It is set in a very cold place. So this book is a historical fiction horror about two real ships, the Erebus and the Terror, who went in search of the North Atlantic Passage and disappeared. And nobody knows what really happened to them or why they did certain things. There is speculation. You should definitely look it up if it sounds interesting, because the real life story is equally harrowing as this book. The book has them being chased by a creature. Not going to say any more. There are some creepy horror elements. Scurvy is a real thing and it's fucking terrifying. And cannibalism. So please enjoy that book. It's perfect to read in the winter because it's cold. It's a really good book though. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Did I ever tell you about Bumbles? Bumbles bounce. What's one of your favourite creatures from a book? You'll know I love cats. It's Mr. Kindly from Nevernight by J. Kristoff. I mean, creatures are, you know, a loose way, I guess, of saying what Mr. Kindly is, but like he's a creature. He's like a shadow cat, and that's what I'm going with, and I love it. So, yeah, Mr. Kindly, I love him. So now we're on to the bonus questions. What's your favourite Christmas/holiday movie? I'm probably going to say Home Alone here. I just really like watching it. I really like Die Hard. I know speculation, is it a Christmas film? Yes, it is a Christmas film, because the whole reason that that plot can happen is because people are at a Christmas party in the middle of the night in the office. It needs Christmas for those people to be there at that point in time. So it's a Christmas movie. Anyway. I really like Home Alone as well, and I really like Elf. And I always watch The Holiday every Christmas. And it always makes me cry because it's cute, and I am unashamed about that. And lastly, do you have a favourite or just recommended book to read around Christmas or the holidays? I'm honestly just going to say no, because I don't really read seasonally. I feel like Christmas books tend to be more of a contemporary type thing. One I've been looking forward to that I haven't read, so I guess I'm kind of recommending it, but I haven't read it, so I don't know how good this recommendation is. Inner Holidays by Christina Lauren, which is supposedly like Christmas Groundhog Day, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds great. So maybe that one, but I haven't read it, so... So that's the tag, and I really hope you guys have enjoyed this one. I had a lot of fun doing it. So I'm not going to tag anyone because it's super close to Christmas now, but if you still have time to film, then consider yourself tagged. Or, you know, you can consider yourself tagged for next year and definitely remember that this tag is here for next year. Or you could do it after Christmas. Screw the rules, who cares? We're family festive films all the time. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go now. If you enjoyed this video, please leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!